I'll let you know. All right, happy Monday to my awesome Wholesale to Million YouTube family. We're back with another amazing first wholesale deal interview subscriber. I probably said that all backward, but you guys, if you guys do enjoy this kind of interview and it add value to you, be sure to smash the thumbs up for me to let me know. I'm trying to get more people on as they share their stories, where they come from, how they got their first wholesale deal, now how they're trying to scale their business or whatever. But if you guys do enjoy it, make sure to smash the like. And if you recently closed your first wholesale deal, then be sure to comment below with your email or email me at wholesale2millions@gmail.com, and then we'll get you onto the show, get you onto the channel, so that way you can share your stories. And the whole purpose and reason for me to do this, and I'm pretty sure our guest too, is to help inspire and motivate those of you who haven't, to let you know that you keep going, you're on the right path, this is the right vehicles that's going to get you to your end goal, and it's all about inspiring and motivates you to keep on going and doing it, all right? So anyways, let's get to it. Help me welcome Vince, closed his first wholesale deal in September for $2,500. He's going to share with you guys his stories and how he did it. Vince, what up, buddy?
What's going on, Khang?
Hey,
Glad to be here.
Yeah, do you have a good weekend?
Man, had an excellent weekend, man. Just trying to get that second deal under wraps.
Nice, man. All right, let's not waste any more time. I'm going to let you take it over, share people your story, kind of like where you are and how you discover real estate, and then lead into your first wholesale deal, man.
All right. So, yeah, basically, I've grown up around real estate my whole life. My father, he was a real estate investor back in the day, but he used to take me to his rent house and stuff like that. But he passed away when I was like 27. So, but when you're 27, you don't have time. You're not thinking about real estate like that. So fast forward a couple of years now, I've gotten older. I knew I didn't want to work that 9-to-5 job. So basically, I just started reading a lot of books. I want to say in the last 2 years and listen to a lot of mentors like Jim Rohn and people like that. And I just started taking notes on, he was saying that work harder on yourself than you do in your job. So I was at the job, I was listening to all the podcasts, I was listening to you, I was listening to Flip Man and stuff like that. And basically, I took that attitude and I put it into another business that I was developing. So then it started working. So then I was like, okay, you know what? But I'm doing too much in the other business. Let me flip it over to the real estate. So then I started putting out the bandit signs, and I was getting a little bit of calls, but I wasn't getting any deals. So I kind of sat back and started getting that what you call the analysis paralysis. So I was just analyzing deal after deal after deal, but I wasn't taking the action to call anybody. So this is how the deal got started, Con. Me and my wife, we got married in July. I said to myself, when I come back from Jamaica, I said, I'm not even going to worry about the other business. I'm going to go strictly real estate. So I ordered, I think, another 200 bandit signs. And I said, I'm just going to put out bandit signs after bandit signs. And then nothing really happened from the bandit signs. But then I remember you did an interview in the car, and there you kept saying, somebody kept asking you different questions about like, what if this happens? What if this happen? What if this happen? And you said something in the car. You were like, look, don't worry about all that. Just get to the money. And when you said it like that, I was like, you know what? He's right. Let's just go ahead. So I started cold calling people. And that's not even my personality. So I just started calling people from Zillow. I started calling people from Trulia, just coming up with, just going through the questions, asking the questions, from the format and everything. And one lady was on the phone. She was like, look, I just bought a house last year at auction. She said, I was trying to sell it, but we had to wait a certain amount of time to sell it after, the auction period after we bought it. During that whole time before, I had not, I didn't have any deals or anything, but I had been building up my buyers list because I had been going to different parts of town for my other business. So I was just collecting phone numbers from all the We Buy Houses signs, all the signs. By the time I got to her deal, I had over 115 people on a list. So I was saying to myself, you know what? It only takes one person to buy this deal. So when I got that from her, she told me, she said it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, little rundown house, completely run down. It was in another part of town. Okay, I'm in Houston. You know how the competition, they said the competition in Houston is vast. I thought to myself, you know what? Let me go outside of Houston real quick and see can I find something to make it a little bit easier on myself. So she had the piece of property that was probably 45 minutes from Houston. So when she gave me the listing, what I did was, she was cool. She was absolutely cool. She told me, bring her a buyer at $30,000. So what I did was I just started going through my buyers list. I started calling everybody on the list. I had pictures that she sent me. I had 7 pictures. I forwarded them all the information that was on the list. All right. Got a couple calls back. No, lowballing me 10,000, 15,000, 25,000. Then we got a call up to 27, and then I got about 3 for $30,000. All right, I'm still kind of lost at everything because I got the offer. So I called them back and I told them, okay, I'm gonna accept your $30,000 deal. All right, I didn't know what to do after that call. All right, I didn't know. I know I did. So then I talked back to the lady and she was like, all right, cool, we're cool with the 30,000. She said, but I need them to put the 2,500 non-refundable deposit in my name. And that sounded kind of fishy to me. I was like, okay. So I was thinking to myself, okay, why your name? You know, at the end of the day, I thought the assignment fee went to me. So she was like, look, I've had people in the past, because she's an investor too. I didn't find out till later on. She was like, I had people in the past kind of rip me off or try to hold up my property for a long amount of time. I need that $2,500 non-refundable fee. She told me, said, look, if the deal goes through, regardless of the fact, I'm going to give you the $2,500 non-refundable. I said, okay, let's do this like this then. Since if that's the case, let's draw up some paperwork to make sure that we send to the closing people to make sure that when the deal goes through and the title gets clear, that the 2,500 is reverted back to me. All right. So we got all that straight. I talked back to the buyer. The buyer was kind of hesitant upon putting the 2,500 in her name. I talked to him. We smoothed it over. I said, look, the 2,500 will be refundable if the title does not clear. He was cool with that. So what we did was, at that same time, now I hate to backtrack, but I tried to use a one-page contract with her. She would not accept a one-page contract. And like I said, this is my first time dealing with the contract, so I'm a bit nervous. So then, all right, she wanted to use the Texas TREC 1-4. I'm like, man, I don't know what's going on with this contract at all. So I started Googling. I'm bigger pockets. You know, I'm trying to text around, trying to see what's going on. And what I did was I was reading all my books, and basically they told me, just make sure on the buyer side, right after my name, you put and or sign. And also what I did was I took the contingencies that I had from my original one-page contract. I put them in box number 11 of the special provision. And what I did, you know, I put in there as far as, you know, the earnest money deposit, because I didn't put any money in the deal. I put earnest money, well, I put in $10 to her on the contract, but she never, you know, never asked about it or anything. But I also put in there, earnest money deposit is the sole remedy. What else I put in there? I put in there that buyer is responsible for all closing costs minus unpaid taxes, mortgage, or liens. I just copy and pasted it and took it and put it into those provisions. But what I made sure I did with my buyer was I took out all the contingencies that would make him pull out the deal easily. So once I put all those provisions in, and then we checked it on her end, I went ahead and sent that to my buyer so that he could take a look at all the things that I had in place. He was fine for all those things. And I also sent him an assignment contract that I just generically found online. he was not happy with that assignment contract. So he sent me back his assignment contract with, with the different things in there. All right. So I looked it over and I was like, okay, cool. Everything looks good to me. Let's roll with it. So once I sent it back to him, he was fine with it. So the next question I had for him was, how long before you take the 2,500 over there to the title company? And they said, okay, we're going to take it the next day. Then the next day didn't come around. I think it stormed or something down here, but regardless of the fact, it didn't get there the next day. So upon the next day, it did get there. And I didn't, I called the title agency. They sent me a copy of everything. We were good to go. So instead of him putting down 25, he went ahead and took 3,500 down there. So I was thinking, all right, cool. We're at least good to go on that end. So by this time, we're at least, because I started back on, I want to say the 7th of, looking at the date, I started around September the 4th, and I got him under contract, I want to say by August. I'm in August. October the 4th, I got him under contract by August, I want to say the 8th, 9th, or 10th. So it probably took me around 8 days to find him. So during the time after he sent everything to the title company, the money was there. We're just waiting on to get clearance as far as the title. So now I'm a little nervous because she told me that everything was good with the title. It was just that she had to wait to a specific date for the title to be cleared, which was going to be on the 27th, and we were supposed to close on the 31st. So during that whole time, I'm checking back with the lady at the title company, and I talked to her on one occasion, and she was like, all right, this title is a mess. I was like, oh man, come on. She was like, it's going to be okay, but it is a mess. Just check back with me. All right. So then I checked back with her. She said, well, we're getting around to the end of the month. All right. We're getting down, I said the 22nd or something like that. She says, okay, I have not received the buyers, I guess, where the wire or where his funding is coming from at this point. And I was like, oh man. So then the lady also talked with them, and the seller talked with them, and she was like, look, I think he's just messing me around. He's just messing me around. I'm like, I don't think he is. I said, because he's put in 3,500. She was like, okay, we're just going to wait a little while longer. If he does not close by the 31st, then I think we're going to have to pull back the deal for him. I was like, okay. So I checked back with the lady again, and he was supposed to get his survey ordered early on in the deal. We had that in on the contract. So he didn't get that ordered till late. I checked back with the title lady. She was like, well, he just ordered his survey, and it is supposed to start taking place around, now we're past the 31st. We're like on the 1st or 2nd. He ordered ordered the survey, and the survey is supposed to be completed by the 5th. So we get around the 5th, and I'm start texting him. I'm like, hey, are you going to be able to close this deal or what? He's like, yeah, we're good to go. So then we get around the 6th or 7th, and the survey comes back. Everything is good. I text him back. I said, hey, we're good to go. He's like, yeah, we're cool. So next thing I know, I called the title lady back. She said he's going to do a remote closing on the 10th at 11 o'clock, followed by the seller signing, I guess, around 11:30 or 12 o'clock. And she was like, look, where do you want me to wire you the money? Do you want to pick it up? First thing I told her, I'm going to pick up my check. So then all I knew was, okay, I'm going to pick up my check. I called her that day. She said, hey, your check will be ready downstairs at 12 o'clock. I was finishing up another job on my other business. All I know is when I was driving there, it felt like rainbows were coming across the scene. I was like, when I picked up the check from the lady, I said, man, this is real. I said, this is real. And it was easy. I thought it was going to be hard. Just like you said, the first deal was the hardest. it's your mind frame that you got to change. It was like, man, you just got to go. You know what I'm saying? By any means possible. I don't know how many different people I call, ask how many different questions, but it's real, you know. So for anybody out there saying that you can't make this happen, you just got to change your mind frame. You just got to say by any means necessary, I'm going to get this deal closed. I'm going to make it happen. I like bandit signs, but hey, if I got a cold call and make it happen, I'm a cold call guy now.
Awesome. Vincent, I'm going to break down your story a little bit. So for those of you who just watching this is raw, you guys. We don't role play. We don't set this up. So this is the first time I'm hearing Vincent's story as well. So I am a little confused. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions here. So Vincent, first of all, when did you initially got into real estate?
I want to say I really got into it. My mom passed and left a house that I was supposed to sell, but I didn't know about the wholesaling part of it back then. If I had known on it, I could have done this on that piece of property and made a huge chunk, but I didn't put the pieces of the puzzle together. And even though I was, you know, was over the property and everything like that. So I kind of got into it back then, but I read harder in 2000 and I want to say 16. Yeah, I was reading books like, I'm looking at one book right now, The 1 Minute Millionaire. Right now, I'm looking at another one. What's this? Are You Dumb Enough to Get Rich? I'm looking at another one, The Compound Effect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was the education that I needed, but then, like you say, and everybody says you have to take action. You have to, because otherwise you're just reading all this stuff and your mind is just being swarmed.
Gotcha. So basically back in 2016, that's when you're getting serious about real estate, start reading, listening, looking into real estate, and didn't do your first wholesale deal until 2018, September
Correct.
of 2018.
Correct.
So now on this deal, Vincent, really quick, so you got in contact with the seller by cold calling, right?
Correct.
Is
Yes.
it Craigslist? Is it Zillow?
I think I found her off of Trulia or Zillow.
Okay, so, okay. And now what was the asking price originally?
The asking price originally, I think it was 41,000.
41. And then when you talked to her, so when you talk to her, do you say that you are the buyer? Or like what's the conversation? Because I don't get why she was like, okay, bring me a buyer.
Originally, when I called, you know, I do a regular formality, you know, asking about, you know, is the house for sale? How many bedrooms? How many baths? You know, doing our regular script as far as I'm being the original buyer and what's the least amount that you have to take, you know, minus, you know, you don't have to pay any commissions or anything. From the conversation that I picked up, I don't know what happened in between. I kind of got a vibe that she was an investor or some type of realtor or something, but she knew about the wholesale game or knew something about what was going on. So once I picked that up from her, I told her, I said, hey, I have a buyer's list. I can bring you a buyer. She said, if you can bring me a buyer, I said, we can do a deal. And she was telling me, look, I'll accept $30,000 on this deal. So my obvious thing, I was trying to get somebody above the $30,000 to make the spread more. But at the same time, I couldn't get anybody to go over that spread. So basically, I just picked up that vibe from her that she knew what was going on already.
Gotcha. That's what I was confused. So Vincent, thanks for clearing that up. And that's where your quick brain, like your quick brain has to come in. And sometimes you have to, switch your phone conversation because of who's on the other end, and things like that. So very good. So you figure, and so you guys switched the conversation to where you just tell her you have some buyers, and she said, hey, if you can bring someone to the table that's willing to pay $30,000 for the property. Now, when she say that, obviously you guys didn't have come to any contract, right? She just telling you. Okay.
We didn't come into contract. Actually, before that conversation, I was trying to put her under contract for 33. But she
Gotcha.
was telling me about the $2,500 non-refundable deposit, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna put down anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So during that whole time before, when she told me about the $2,500, that kind of backed out of that, and I was just thinking to myself, okay, we're pretty cool already. I can just bring her a buyer, and I'll go in under the $10 and make him bring in the $2,500 non-refundable deposit
Gotcha.
and
So
get
now,
paid out of
Vincent,
that.
Gotcha. Okay, so you brought a buyer. So you got 3 buyers. You sent out to your buyers list. You got 3 buyers that's willing to tell you, hey, we'll pay $30K for it. Now, where's the $2,500 come from? Is it come from the seller that she's going to pay you?
Actually, I got kind of confused on the deal because, all right, because I was listening to different podcasts. All right, I was listening to you. I was listening to the Flip Man. Flip Man said advertise a price. So I advertised the price at 30. So when I sent it, when he asked me, he was like, does this 30 include everything, my fee and everything? And I was like, yes. So then when I sent her the original contract for her to look at it, it was at 30. And when I sent it to him for 30, he was like, no. So he was like, look, I need it to reflect 27,500. So then I redid the contract at 27,500 and then just sent the assignment contract to him for the 2,500. And now everything meshed together at that point. So basically the seller, she got 27,500 and then I got the 2,500 on the assignment contract.
Got it. So basically the purchase price, so basically the seller, she's willing to accept 27.5, not 30.
Correct.
And then, so she's willing to accept 27.5, and that's where you get the 2,500 on your part, and that comes out of the buyer. So you told the buyer 30,000 was okay, we're good to go. You came back to the seller, and when you come back to the seller, you would have to tell the seller, hey, I got an offer of 30, but I need to make my fee, so it got to be. So how did you come back to the seller, I guess?
Khang, like you say, the first deal was so hard because I wasn't putting the pieces together. It was just a mutual relationship. She was willing to accept that 27.5 because she knew that, that I got the 30 price. So she was willing to give me the 2,500. We kind of discussed the assignment fee ahead of time. So I knew I was going to get 2,500 regardless of what price I got in.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which was kind of backwards. I won't do on the next deal. You know what I'm saying? Because I can make my assignment fees better.
Sure.
But I was just listening to you say, look, just get the first deal done. So I was just trying to get it done.
Exactly, brother. Exactly. So now, let me see here. So 25 goes. So now the property, is it vacant? Is it rented? Owner living in?
No, the property was vacant.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was going to do it completely virtual. All right. I was gonna do it completely virtual because at this time I hadn't even seen the property or anything. I hadn't gone out to the property, and the property is approximately 30 minutes from me. But during the time that we're waiting for all the title issues and whatever, I was just like, you know what? I'm just 30 minutes away. Let me just go look at it. So I drove out to the property. It was a complete, vacant property. No electricity, no nothing. It's inhabitable. You can't live there. So even me going to the property and knocking on the door, I was like, hello, please don't shoot me. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody can live there.
Got it. So, yeah. So Vincent, so the property is vacant, 30 minutes away from you. I figure, so the seller, is she out of state? Is she still in the area?
No, she's still in the area, and we're working on another deal right now.
Cool, man. So she's in the area. The property's vacant. Now, what is the ARV for the property?
The ARV is around 110.
Okay. How do you come up with that?
Pretty much, basically, I did the comps from ePraisal, Redfin, Zillow, HomeSnap, and I got my average.
Cool.
And then she already had pulled comps for that as well and sent them to me.
Cool. And what was the estimated repair on it?
She was saying 30. I put in an extra 10 at 40.
Okay, so you estimated at 40K for rehab. How do you come up with that estimation? Because these are the questions, Vincent, that everybody kind of wants to know when they first start out. They have no experience in real estate, no experience in construction. So I don't know if you have any experience or background, but how do you come up with a repair?
All right. No experience in construction, no experience in any of those type of things. Basically, I'm going to tell you the truth. I was thinking that if she was at 30, let me boost up at least 10 more thousand just from the way it looks inside, just to make sure I'm good.
Gotcha. And see, for those of you who are like, well, I need to figure out the repairs, you guys are so basically trying to analyze, trying to get perfect numbers. Vincent here to say, hey, you know what? Sell us at 30. Shoot, man, I'm just going to tack another 10K on top.
Absolutely.
just to be conservative. Okay. And then, so the sell price is at 30,000 to the buyers. Okay, cool, man. So now how did you know? So I guess, Vincent, so how do you know that when the seller said, bring me a buyer for 30,000, how do you know that that was good? Or did you just say, okay, well, she asked for 41, she won 30,000. Shoot, I'm just going to send it out to my buyers.
So basically, when I started calling up my buyers list, so many investors, I want to say, I don't know how many went out there, but they started giving me feedback about the property, saying that, hey, this needs to be done. Hey, they took all the copper wiring out of here, blah, blah, blah. So I was thinking to myself, and they were also giving me, low ball to around 20 to 25. I never got above that 30. So I said, if I'm not going to get above that 30, I need to go ahead and, snatch one of those deals up, because I don't think I'm going to get above that 30. So let's just make it happen.
Gotcha. So basically, you are continuously marketing, advertising, trying to find out buyers that's willing to come in at that price. Correct, Vincent?
Correct.
Okay. So the reason why I pinpoint that out is for those of you guys got to understand. Sometimes, you send it out and then you get all these buyer feedback coming in, and you'll be like, maybe it's not a deal because all these buyers coming back and say, hey, the price is this, and they are coming in just like this. They come in way lower. So if you don't have enough larger buyer list, and if you can't hustle enough where you just got to keep marketing, calling, and try to find that one buyer that's willing to come in at the price. Now, I'm not saying that sometimes you go, and maybe the deal that you put on the contract just completely too high, or the number's just wrong. But I'm saying there are times where even if your number is right, but if you don't have enough larger buyers list, and if you just don't try to call and advertise, a lot of times where these buyers come in with a low number, where the one buyer that can come in at your price is out there. That's just what I'm saying. It's out there. You just have to try to find it. And a lot of times, when you can't find it, you're going to run out of time, then you just have to go back and do what you got to do with the seller, renegotiate or extend the contract, whatever it is. But the reason why I point that out as well too is I have deals where we send it out and all of our buyers say, oh, no, they come in low, they set price too high, and we just keep pushing and trying to market and trying to collect new buyers, and the new buyer will come in and we're happy to find somebody that fits for them. They're like, oh, it's in my area, it's close to me, I'm willing to pay up to whatever the amount is. Mm-hmm. So anyways, that's just what I want to share with you guys. Now, as for title company, Vincent, did you use the seller title company, or how do you find the title company?
We actually used the buyer's title company. In the beginning, we were going to use hers, but he really was adamant about using his. I didn't have any title company, so I just know y'all said, look, somebody's going to have a title company, piggyback off of them, and that's what I did.
Perfect, man. So basically in this deal here, the deal's pretty transparent, right? The sellers know you're coming in, you're going to bring a buyer, so it's pretty transparent, so which makes it, for you, like, okay, well, we can use the buyer, the seller's title company, whichever one, just to get this deal done. That's good, man. So let me see here. So you got a lockup on the contract sometime in August, took about 7 or 10 days to find the buyers, and then went through some title issue and didn't close until September 10th?
Correct, September 10th.
So roughly about 30 days for $2,500.
Correct. Yeah, easy 2,500.
$10 earnest money, right?
I didn't even give it up.
So okay, so basically once you connect the dot, right, Vincent? Once you connect the dot where you found the buyers, the seller's ready to go, the buyers all, everybody's set on the price. Then that's when you come in contract with the seller and then come into an assignment agreement with the buyer. Is that correct?
That was correct.
Awesome, man. Great deal, dude. I'm so glad, so happy for you, man. So happy for you because after this deal, you know that you can make as much as you want.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Because now it becomes real, and that it's not like a myth anymore to you, and like, can I do it? Now you know that you can do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool, man. Hey, and you mentioned that you're working on another deal. Is it with the same seller?
Yeah, she like I said, she's an investor, and she has a knack for getting properties under contract fast. So pretty much she already got another contract on a house, and she sent it to me. And I know she's trying to work it on her end, but I'm like, if I can work it on my end fast, let's just roll with it. So I pretty much now, I tell her, go ahead and get the pictures, send them to me, and I'll just start pushing them through my list real quick.
Vincent, awesome, man. I love the hustle. So we're going to wrap this up, Vincent. But any tips for those that are obviously trying it out? What are your tips and advice, or what are the hurdles that you have to, kind of unlock to get to move forward?
Basically, you just have to switch your mind frame. When you wake up in the morning, from listening to the podcast to reading during the day, and then going out and doing your marketing every day, you have to market. You have to talk to people. You have to. I don't like cold calling. You got to cold call the people. You got to get your words right. Sooner or later, you'll get your words right, and somebody will work with you, regardless of the fact. Even when I was sleeping at night, I was like, man, I'm going to close the deal. I'm going to close the deal. And that's the mind frame that you have to take, because, hey, it can happen. It will happen. You just have to change your mind frame.
Cool, man. And then Vincent, throughout this, are you doing a 9 to 5, or do you have a regular job or a side business, or what's?
No, actually, I quit my job, I want to say about 2 years ago. I got, my mind frame changed. I was telling you, I was listening to Jim Rohn. He said, work harder on yourself doing your job, than you're doing your job. So I started reading more, and then it helped me on another business that I was developing. So I started making a lot of, good decisions and profit from my other business. So then I was like, well, let me transition to the work and then to the real estate. And once that happened, I'm good. I was already good before, but I'm financially free now to look at more deals, like you say, make more offers so that I can make my life easier.
Awesome, man. And so Vincent, if you don't mind sharing with everybody or everyone, whatever you want to share, how did they reach out to you, come in contact with you? Maybe they want to JV with you, and things like that. Maybe they need some tips, help from you. So how did they get a hold of you, man? Yeah,
no problem. If you have any interest, you can contact me. I don't have an Instagram and all that set up yet, but you can contact me at coachstim@gmail.com. Just send me a message or any link. I'm over here in H-Town. Just send me a link. As a matter of fact, I saw you do an interview from a H-Town wholesaler, and I watched this video. So it's like, hey, just contact me. It can be done. Khang, I appreciate it. I really do, man. You don't understand. Your grind, just the way that you came at it, you let us know, hey, I'm not perfect. It can happen.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. And the thing is, you guys, that's why I bring subscriber first. I do the subscriber first wholesale deal to let you guys know that you guys watch people that's doing hundreds and thousands of dollars a month in wholesaling. But it's nice to, when you first start out, it's nice to get to kind of find something where you can relate to. And that's why I love bringing on this. These are real people, just like, we're trying to get to the next level of our life. We're doing it, and we're just trying to make things happen. We're not perfect, and we're always learning and trying to grow. So I'll make sure I put all of Vincent contact information in the descriptions. Vincent, if you sign up on IG, because you should hit me up on IG. We can connect up on there. And for those of you guys who are, like I said, who recently closed your first wholesale deal, drop it in the comment with your email. Let's connect. Let's get you onto the show. But let's wrap this up. Vincent, I want to say thank you so much, man, for taking your precious time to be on the show to help inspire and motivate everyone on the channel. Thank you so much, man, for your time. And you guys, if you guys haven't subscribed, smash the subscribe button. Any last word, Vincent?
I appreciate that, Khang. I'm ready to get back to the title company to get this next check.
Let's do it. Take care, buddy.